love this characters and this character's chemistry, and they kind of are into each other. They even share a kiss, but actually they're siblings. They're related. What? Welcome back to the Stitched Ghost channel. Welcome. I built a colonial house. I quite like it. It's in Brindleton Bay. I know that is custom content, but don't worry, I did not use any of it because I just didn't like it. So you're gonna see me kind of struggle with it, see it's like debating on whether I like it or not, and in the end I don't because there's not any good shutters, and I couldn't be bothered with downloading more custom content. I just was like, no thank you, my game will die. I was trying to make townies and stuff, and oh my god, it just my game is hanging on by a thread. Earlier today I just started to uninstall a bunch of games and try to make it not as slow, but The Sims is gonna run slow because I refuse to get rid of anything on the actual game itself. So it's just gonna be like that, and that's fine because create a sim is usually very I guess therapeutic. I don't really like doing it too much, but I've been having a lot of fun because if you remember my last video, I've been making characters from the book I've been reading, or not the book I've been reading specifically, but the book series. I'm gonna do something here. I don't know. We're just gonna ignore it. I was looking at it, I'm like, what am I doing? This is old. I forgot to do this, and I was trying to build like this Spanish style, not Spanish, like Mediterranean house in Oasis Springs, but I didn't like it. It's really I don't like it. I'm gonna make it nicer, okay? You'll see a better Oasis Springs house, okay? I didn't like it, so I was like, screw it. We're gonna go over to Brindleton Bay and we're gonna build a nice little house, and I thought this lot was perfect. I have the exact family in mind for this. There's not exactly a lot of rooms for them right now, but to be honest with you, I don't really care about the inside too much. So if you want to change the floor plan, be my guest. I kind of like it, but at the same time, like the one I made, but at the same time, I think I definitely can be improved upon. I just wanted to build the outside, to be honest. I had a lot of fun. I really like doing exteriors. I think I did really good on like landscaping bit of it. I think it's probably the best landscaping I've done so far. I definitely had the most fun with it. There's specifically like at the top, the front on the left side, there's like a cluster of trees, and I really loved how that turned out. Like that's my favorite part. This house, spoiler, is gonna have also a covered pool in the back. Just because I really like those windows. I'm probably gonna be using them as many times as I can because I love a sunroom and I love a covered. Just like I was thinking of greenhouse, but I'm like, oh, no one in this family is a gardener, so I'm like, maybe we'll just put a pool in the back. And I'm pretty sure it snows in Brindleton Bay, so I'm like, I might as well make it covered. No idea how a covered pool actually looks like in real life. I'm pretty sure that it's like more of a what's the word? It's more of a attached to the house kind of thing. Like you're not supposed to walk out and then go to the covered pool. It should just already be attached to your house. But I don't really care. I just put it back there. This is just because of my sim. So, if you hate it, you can destroy it and you can just use the main house model and it's there. I really like it. But yeah, you'll see as we go along that it's a really simple house. I once again used a floor plan off of Pinterest, and it's pretty nice. I can't remember. I think I had to do a couple adjustments. Like the balconies on the outside, I got rid of those. I didn't really like them. Instead, on the left side of the house, instead of the balconies, I added like bathrooms so that there would be an ensuite onto one of the bathrooms. Instead of having 4 people or 4 bedrooms full of people share one bathroom, I added 2 more. So 2 en-suites, and I also had one of those rooms have like what's the word, like 2 closets, which separates them from the other rooms because they're all the same size. And yeah, so that's change anything as you would like. I honestly got a little bit lazy with this one. I just wanted to make the outside look pretty, and I did. And then when I went inside, I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really care to adjust. So, yeah, I'll probably put the notes in the end. You know, like the little biography of like and the about me or whatever. But it's the house or something. Look at my struggle with the windows. Like I truly could not find a window that I liked. I love these old kind of houses. I know a lot of people now want to get like new builds and I'm not a fan of the cookie cutter siding and I know technically this house is cookie cutter siding, but I don't I don't like it. Well, the siding here I like because the house itself has like character to it and it has like those details, like little details I like. And I tried to not make it like white because I didn't really like it that much, but actually with the ivy looking things from who knows what pack because I don't actually know anything about this game. But like you'll see it looks really nice with the landscaping. Look, I even tried to do with brick. Ew, get that out of here. I like brick, but here it just looks bad. I think the classic look was definitely the best, especially with the classic windows I eventually chose, and you'll see. And so I prefer an older looking house that has, you know, like stone or like natural woods. You know, I like those. So I'm a fan of like mid-century, not mid-century modern. Although I do like mid-century modern, I like a good mid-century house. And I dream of a nice, moody looking house that just has a really nice sunroom. And I could just like go in there and like lay down and maybe like, or maybe not lay down, but you know, sit in there in the sun and maybe have like breakfast in, or even just read a little book on there because I'm doing that now. I'm reading, like I've mentioned a lot of times. And I very much want to keep doing that because I'm actually having a lot of fun. It's kind of like starting a TV show almost, but it's socially acceptable to have it out while you're working. So, like, I've just been reading while I've been working because there's really not a lot to do. I work at a restaurant, and around like this time, because of people going back to school, it's just not that busy. Soon enough it'll pick up again, but for now people are still like adjusting, and so it's been pretty slow. So I've managed to knock out, well, how many books? I've knocked out 4 in the 2 weekends I've worked. So, 2.5-ish. Yeah, I've pretty much read a book a day since I've been there. Or not really. A little longer than that because, you know, it still gets busy. And so I can't just sit there and read the entire time. Sometimes I get bored of reading. And not because the book itself is boring, but just because it's like, okay, I need a break. I need a little break. And so I go do something and then I come back to it. But that's kind of what I've been doing. I have decided not to do the book synopsis. I know you're so disappointed. But I am planning on still talking about like the stuff that happens because I finished reading this book called, still in the series that I talked about, yapped about last time, which is like, if you don't know, it's the Mortal Instruments series, but I'm currently on, oh god, what is it called? The Last Hours? Hold on, let me get it. Ugh. Yes, oh, I was right. Okay, The Last Hours. I finished Chain of Iron, I think is what it's called. It's Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and then the last book is Chain of Thorns. And honestly, I have found it kind of hard to get into it because as much as I love having lots of characters and lots of personalities to play off of, I feel like these characters weren't introduced as well as they should have. And then I realized that I missed a whole book from the 20-something books that are, hold on, actually, it says it right here. There's like a list of every book in this series. We're going to count it, okay? I'm going to read them out loud. So, the main book series, right, it's called The Mortal Instruments, okay? This is all by Cassandra Clare and a couple of our other authors, here, if there's other authors, I will tell you. So in the original, the OG series, the Mortal Instruments, it's City of Blank, okay? All of them are City of Blank. So there's Bones, Ashes, Glass, Fallen Angels, Lost Souls, and Heavenly Fire, okay? So City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of whatever. And then there's the Infernal Devices, which is like a prequel series, and that is Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, which I really like. It's kind of like, oh god, what is it set? Like late 1800s London, and so it's like fantasy late 1800s, and also kind of like, the only word I can think of is steampunk, but I don't think it's steampunk. Like that's the kind of vibe I got. It's kind of like fantasy, but also hold on. Let me look up what steampunk means, and we can continue this conversation because I keep using that word, but I don't think that's what it means. Like what is it? Steampunk genre? Let's read. What defines it? Inspired by Victorian era industrialism, science fiction. Victorian technology usually okay, yes. Then yes. It's basically like steampunky, and I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. And then there's the Dark Artifices, which is my freaking favorite series. Oh, I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness. And then there's the Elder Curses with Wesley Chu, it says. The Red Scrolls of Magic, Lost Book of the White. The Shadowhunters Codex, but with Joshua Lewis, The Brain Chronicles with Sarah Reese Brennan and Maureen Johnson, Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, which I accidentally skipped, and that's why I was confused. But that's with Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. And then Ghost of the Shadowhunter Market, which I read before this, thankfully, because that kind of helped a little bit, with Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, Kelly Link, and Robin Wasserman. And then the book series I'm reading, The Lost Hours, Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns. And so I have had Shadowhunters... Wait. Tales of the Shadowhunters Academy. Did I say that? Whatever. That's the one I skipped on accident. Not because I didn't want to read it, but I tried getting into it, and then, I don't know, I feel like my obsession over these books were just kind of like... They were just not... It's not there anymore, you know, that love, I guess. And so... I kind of started it multiple times, and then I kind of got over it. So I knew a couple things that happened, but I didn't realize how, like, they introduced the characters of the series I'm reading now, which is a sequel to the prequel steampunk series that I was talking about. And so I don't remember the steampunk series, like, at all. Like, there's a couple things where I'm like, okay, the basics, you know, like, I don't know, like, oh yeah, she can, like, shapeshift or whatever, and, like, that's the mom here, okay, and then she, like, fell in love with that guy, but also that guy, and that guy is kind of like a monk now, so, supernatural monk, so, like, they can't be together, but he was dying, so that kind of saved his life, and so, whatever, it's like a whole thing, okay? This book is very, very... There's a lot of lore, so if you love a good lore thing, like, this is perfect for you. Like, there's so much history, so whenever a character shows up and you recognize them, you're just like, oh, I love you, I'm so glad you're here, I can't wait to hear you talk, and you know, I love it. I love it. So, the problem with that is, when you get introduced to too many characters at once, which is what I was introduced with. Also, look at this, like, these closets, I love using them because, I don't actually like building custom closets. I think it's just, like, a waste of space, and in these closets, you can woohoo, so, I don't think it's so much a waste of space anymore, and also it adds, like, a little extra something. I hate the artwork in this game, like, it's too repetitive. I think there should be way more, and also it's so expensive. Not like I decorated these houses for you anyway. Tried adding like a bathroom in there, which now that I think about it, I think it could have worked, but I think at the end of it, I'm like, nah, I'd rather have more space than another bathroom. I don't know. I thought it was like an awkward little spot, and it wasn't that big. Look, I rage quit. I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna redo this. We're gonna go back to the original. Yeah, I try to do a lot of things here, but anyway, as I was saying with the book, there's just a lot of people, and my brain was struggling to recognize who was who, because in the, steampunk book, right, everyone who was a character there, they got married to someone else or whatever, now they have their kids, Victorian era, whatever. Is that Victorian era, Lady Angie? I don't know if that's accurate now that I think about it, but I don't know anything about anything history, so like, correct me if I'm wrong, but because they all had at least 3 children, and a lot of them are related to each other. The children are related to each other. Okay, they're cousins and stuff. Okay, I feel the need to clarify that because in this book there is some weird relationships in between people who may or may not be related to each other, and turns out not. They're not related. They're just not related. And so, it was kind of fucked up for that guy to do it. Okay, you know what? I will talk about it. I will talk about it because who cares about this speed build? Just watch me build this house and just hear me yap, okay? Look, in the very, 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 very first book ever released, okay, the very first one. So we're gonna go through publishing order, okay? I will talk about this to anyone who listens. Ask any of my friends, and by that I mean like 2 or 3 of them. They know that I love this series, and I have explained this plot to them numerous times. And I forget that I do that. I made them watch the show. I'm trying to get one to watch the movie because I want to watch it for the first time because I'm just really intrigued. Okay, I really love this thing. Okay, I don't think we'll be able to get through the first book by the end of this because I think we only got like 15 minutes left, but I'm gonna damn well try. Okay, essentially in the first book we meet our protagonist. Okay, and pause. I hate this Porsche that I did. It's not gonna last, okay? She's gonna be gone, okay? Just so you know, you're like, that's ugly. Yes, I know. It's not gonna last, okay? It's not gonna last. It's gonna go away. So don't worry, okay? It's gonna go away. Anyway, we meet our protagonist. Her name's Clary. She is 60. Fuck. I don't remember. That's not good. Hold on. I have the book literally right next to me because I do not have a single spot left on my shelf, and so I just took them all out. What is this? Is this like her new book series? Oh, it's the font. It's different. I was so confused. Is this the first one? Oh, this is the third one. Where's the first one? Oh, found it. Hold on. She's either 15 or 16. Is that relevant? Not necessarily, but if you think about the shit that they start getting into, like, it's kind of like, why? You know, why? Essentially, she goes to, you just can hear me flipping pages, I'm pretty sure. 15! She's 15. I think she's the youngest of the group. So everyone else, just assume they're older. 15, Clary Frey. Clary Frey lives in New York, and she's with her best friend, okay? Best friend, nerdy little friend, Simon. Simon Lewis, okay? He's a little nerd, little geek. This all takes place in 2009, so he probably loves, like, oh god, I'm not a nerd, so I wouldn't know. Star Wars, Star Trek, I don't know. I think people liked that beforehand. I'm so sorry. I have no idea. And so yeah, they are at an all ages club called Pandemonium, which, by the way, what the fuck is an all ages club? That doesn't make any sense. Like, who allowed this? How are you gonna have adults with children in a club? Like, I don't understand. I think the whole purpose of it was so that it could still be in the young adult, like, genre, so that you still have, like, a young protagonist. And like, but I feel like college age, that's one thing I really liked that the show did, and I think the movie did too. They aged the characters up. I think that was perfect. They definitely should have done that. In my head when I'm reading this, they are aged up a little bit because I just feel like what they do, it just doesn't make any sense for teenagers to do. But whatever, that's not the purpose of this. They went to an all ages club, okay? And Clary sees this guy, or they're waiting outside of the club. They're not in it just yet, but she sees this guy that's just like trying to like get in, and he's talking to this bouncer, and he looks kind of like weird, and by weird I mean just like his eyes are just like not naturally colored, and he's got this sword on his back or whatever, and she's like, what is this cosplayer doing at a fucking club? Like, who is this guy? Kind of handsome though, he's kind of cute. And so this guy manages to talk his way in, tells the bouncer that the sword is rubber or whatever, goes in, and eventually Clary and Simon, they go in. And now Clary, she's kind of distracted as Simon's talking away, you know, just trying to be like, oh, you know, this place looks nice or whatever. And Clary's just has her eyes locked onto this rando, okay? This cosplayer. We're going to call him the cosplayer. And so this cosplayer, he's just like kind of looking around. And she sees that his eyes lock onto somebody. And Clary follows his gaze, and he's like, he finds she finds that he's looking at this really, really pretty girl with her hair like pitch black, dark black, straight down, like long, but she's like dressed, in my opinion, kind of weirdly for a club. Like, she's in long sleeves and it's like lacy, and it's like it's like a long dress, and it looks outdated kind of, and I'm like, what, girl, what? Like, why are you wearing that at a club? Like, I don't understand, but whatever. She's beautiful, and so Clary's immediately like, well, damn, I don't have a chance because I'm like 5'2" or something like that. She's my height. It's like 5'2", 5'3" or something. I can't remember what it was, but I'm not very tall, so she's not very tall. She's like, and I'm flat chested, and I have red hair, and I'm just kind of awkward in my body or whatever. And I'm like, girl, okay, okay. And so Simon's still yapping away, but at this point he's like, she's not paying attention to me. So Simon's really funny. He just like is like, oh yeah, and also like I'm secretly a crossdresser, and also I'm fucking your mom. And Clary's like, wait, look at the guy over there. And poor Simon's like, hold on. Okay, first of all, just to be clear, I'm not fucking your mom. So, but Clary is just like, because while she's watching this guy and Simon is trying to get her attention, she sees that as the cosplayer is following this really pretty girl, he's getting followed by three guys, and two guys in dark clothing with what she thinks is a knife, because she sees like a little glint. I don't know how she sees this in a packed club from however far away. I'm picturing far away, but who knows? And so she follows them, and not before telling Simon, like, Simon, I think those guys have a knife. And Simon's like, you know what, I'm on it. He gets serious. He puts his game face on. We love Simon. He's like, I'm gonna get security. Don't you worry. I'll be right back, okay? And so he goes, and Clary follows the guy with the knife, because of course you would do that. Hello? Like, what are you doing? But whatever. She follows the guys with the knives. And turns out they're like the supply room, and she's kind of in there, and she doesn't see anything though. Like, she goes in and she's like, what the fuck is happening here? And they're not in here. And so she like trips on a cable. As she looks down, she suddenly hears voices, and it's like, oh, they suddenly appeared. That's fucking weird, but whatever. And she just hears these 3 people, because now it's 3 against the cosplayer. Seems like the girl lured him, the cosplayer, into this back room, and they're just like, dude, we know you're a demon. Are there more of you? Because we gotta go. Like, we got better stuff to do than this. And so the demon's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And Claire's like, these guys are fucking crazy. And then finally they're just like, you know what, just kill him, dude. Like, he's clearly a demon. He's not gonna tell us anything. And this demon is like, wait, I know where Valentine is. And the other guys, they're like, no, you don't. Because he's dead. He's 6 feet under, and that's what we know, so clearly you were just going to tell us that he was dead, because we know he's dead. And the demon's like, no, he's alive. And they're like, no, that's just not true, sir. And so, they tried to kill the demon thing. They being, by the way, because their names were revealed, and I never said anything about it, be Isabel, or Izzy, Jace, and Alec. Jace being really snarky, Alec being very, what's the word? Stern, I guess. And Isabel being very playful. And so, anyway, they lunge toward him to, like, kill him. But Clary finally makes her presence known and is like, whoa, hold on a second. And almost gets the 3 of them killed. And all of them are kind of surprised, because eventually they kill the demon thing. And it, like, disappears into ash, and it's gone. And Claire's just shook. She's like, what? You just killed someone. And they're shook. They're like, how do you see us? You're not supposed to be able to see us, okay? Like, that's not possible. And so, eventually Simon and the security guards find her, and they're like, what happened? Like, where are they? And Clary's like, oh, I'm crazy, because I see these people and they don't see these people, so clearly something's wrong with me. And you know what? She ends up being like, oh, I guess they're not here. I guess they left. Whoops. And so they leave. But yeah, so that's kind of like the introduction. Turns out, well, I guess, okay, so eventually she kind of like moves on with her life. She even tells like her kind of father, not really father, kind of uncle, not really uncle guy, Luke, about it. Okay, and he just kind of gaslights her a little bit, being like, oh, you're an artist, you see things that are, normal people don't see or whatever. And then her mom comes home and her mom's like, okay, so we gotta go to Luke's farm for the summer because it's summer, it's August, I forgot to mention that. And so Clary's like, no, because I have art classes at Titch and we were gonna do like a cool back to school thing with Simon, and we're not, I'm not gonna go to Luke's farm for the summer upstate, okay, we're not gonna do that, and she gets kind of mad and she leaves to go meet up with Simon to go to like a poetry slam, which I'm like, okay. Okay, whatever, because his friend was doing it and apparently he's awful, and she sees Jace there, one of the people who stabbed that demon thing. And so she confronts him outside, basically being like, what the fuck are you doing here, like what, like, are you following me? And Jace is like, there's something weird with you because you should not be able to see us, and you're a mundane, which is basically this universe's word for a muggle. And so she's like, you're mundane, you should not be able to see us, like that's weird, and we need to take you back to the institute, which is like where they live, and you could talk to her, like our tutor, so we could see what's going on there because that's weird. And so she doesn't do that because her mom calls her in a panic, be like, Clary, where are you? And she's like, oh, I'm with Simon. And she's like, okay, well, don't come home. Okay, it's dangerous. Don't come home. Don't go home. Okay. And then she's like, I love you, Clary. And she hangs up. And you know what Clary does? She goes home. she goes home. She tells Jace to fuck off, basically. Steals his like phone looking thing, which is not really a phone, but she thinks it is because hers, I don't know why she stole his phone for some reason. Not phone, sensor thing. And so she runs home, goes to her apartment, finds it trash, but nothing's taken. So she's like, no one robbed us, so what's wrong? Mother, hello? Mother's not there. She's gone. She checks the rooms. She finds a little box that her mom used to like cry over that had supposedly her brother, not her, ooh, her father's, like a lock of his hair and like something else. Something like I don't know. I don't remember. Probably important. I don't remember. Like a little memento with the initials JC. She's like, oh, my father is a military man and he died overseas, and that's a lie. But we're not going to find that out until a little bit later. And so, as she's, like, rummaging through stuff, being like, where the frick is my mother? This, like, alligator-looking thing, but it's not an alligator, it's creepier, and it's, like, an alligator and a centipede had a child, which is disgusting to think about. Tries to attack her, tries to kill her. And she manages to stuff the not phone that she stole off of Jay's into its mouth, and it starts, like, choking and shit. And so she's like, fuck it, I'm a get the fuck out of here. And so she runs to the door to try and get out, and she gets hit behind, like in her neck with something, and she knocks out. And when she wakes up, Jace is outside, and he's like, you got hit with demon poison, I have to take you to the institute so we can help you or whatever. And like writes a thing on her arm, and it's like supposed to help her like with a heal or something. And she's like, that's weird that you just gave me like a tattoo, and then she knocks out. And so she leaves. By the way, her neighbor also, which I think is really funny, she's like, dude, your mother is causing a racket. Her name is Madame Dorothea. She's like a tarot card reader witch person, and so she's just like downstairs hanging out. She's like, can you also get your boyfriend to like clean the skylights? I'm like, girl, you're hearing a racket, probably, I'm assuming screaming, and you're just like, ugh, that skylight is so dirty, I hope they clean it out one day. Like, wouldn't you be concerned? But because like police show up, but they didn't go towards them because what the fuck is the police gonna do? And so anyway, Clary goes with Jace to the institute, and she finds out she is something called a shadow hunter, which is basically like half angel, half human things that are meant to protect human beings from demons or like overrunning the earth kind of thing. Because demons used to overrun the earth, but now they don't because shadow hunters killed them, and so it's like a whole thing there. And Clary's like, that's weird because I didn't know that. And they're like, well, your mom was too. So they find that out because of a bunch of like memory stuff or whatever. And so she finds out Another thing, remember Valentine? Turns out that's her father, and now Valentine, he's kind of this psycho weirdo guy, because he just wants to kill every downworlder. Downworlder is basically vampires, werewolves, the fae, and like warlocks. So anything with like demon blood in them, he wants to kill all of them. Okay, because he thinks they're dirty and they're like basically like what is the word? Like mudbloods, I guess is the. I'm still using Harry Potter because I feel like it's a decent frame of reference here, and so, it's just like. Oh, that's uneven. Did I fix? Oh, I did fix that. Sorry, I got distracted by my video, and so, yeah, the entire first book is just her, I guess, trying to figure out where the fuck her mom is, because turns out Valentine kidnapped her. Her mom also, from when she was a small child, has been erasing, or not really erasing her memories, but like modifying her memories so that she forgets that she sees like fairies in bushes, or like people with like horns on their head, or like vampires, or like even like werewolves in the night. Like it rewrites her memory, and the person who has done that is like Magnus Bane. And so she had gone to like a party to like what's the word, to tell him to give her memories back, and that's kind of what they did to get her memory. Like he like unlocked that so she can remember that, like what she forgot. And while she's there, okay, they were given instructions to not drink or eat anything at this party, because the fairies and stuff, they're tricksters, okay? They will put a fruit down expecting that someone will eat it, and then suddenly you are trapped in fairies and you're a slave forever. So like, you should not do anything that the fairies tell you to do, is like the biggest lesson learned here. And Simon drinks something, okay? And he turns into a rat. And the vampires took him because they thought he was one of their friends who became a rat. And I just think that's so Simon. Because Simon finds out. Of course he finds out, because he's her best friend and he's in love with her. And he becomes a rat. And then he gets kidnapped and they try to save him. And it's like this whole thing. And while this is all happening, Clary she has this massive crush on this guy, Jace. He's like blonde and golden eyes, and he's so handsome and muscular. And it turns out, because once they do finally find her mother and Valentine is like, oh, also your siblings. Yeah, I raised him, and yeah, I'm both of your fathers. And that's like crazy, you know, that's wild. So basically, this entire book, they're building up this sexual tension between these two characters, Clary and Jace, and it builds up. They even share a kiss, and it's really passionate and very sweet, and they're bonding, and at the very end, you find out they're siblings, and you're just kind of like, what? Like, huh? And the book kind of ends there. Like, it kind of tapers off. Jocelyn, so I don't think I ever said her name, but Clary's mother is like in a coma, so like, it's this whole thing, okay? I'm very much skipping past a lot of like stuff that actually happened. Like, I didn't even mention the Mortal Cup and like what Valentine's evil scheme is. Like, nothing. I just wanted to mention the fact that the first book is literally just like, oh, you love this character's and this character's chemistry, and they kind of are into each other. They even share a kiss, but actually they're siblings. They're related. What? And it turns out it's not even true. Like, this guy Valentine, he's evil enough on his own, but then he also is like, you know what? I'm gonna tell these guys that they are related to each other just to fuck with them, just because I think it's kind of funny. And when I'm laying, you know, trying to sleep at night, and I'm just like kind of sad because my ex-wife is in a coma and she did it because of me or whatever, I just want a little giggle, you know. I just like remember that, oh yeah, the guy I raised and my biological daughter, you know, like I just told them I'm both their fathers, but I never clarified that I'm not actually both of their fathers. But I just think it's kind of funny because they had like some chemistry when I saw them together, and I just thought just for the giggles, you know, I'm gonna tell them that they're related. like what? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it but it's so funny actually in the grand scheme of it's so funny. Like when I think about, like when I read it, I was like, what? And I was intrigued. I was hooked. I had to read the next one, and unfortunately that's the end of this video. So if you want to know what happens next, watch the next one, because there's no time. We ran out of time. I have to like put in extra footage now because my CPU bill was over. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you decorate this house really nicely. I hope you liked my terrain and my landscaping, because I think it looked pretty nice. So not terrain, the terrain pan, I guess, doesn't matter, whatever. I hope you liked it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, I guess. I had a lot of fun doing this. I love this series, man. Maybe one day we'll catch up to the book I'm reading right now. So we'll see. All right, everyone. Bye.